BTS News Today. The shocking news comes from the South Korean entertainment world, especially for BTS fans known as ARMY. Jungkook, the golden magne who has always been in the spotlight for his talent, sincerity, and stellar aura, reportedly mysteriously disappeared shortly after he announced a shocking decision that stunned millions around the world. In an instant, social media was in uproar, the global fanbase was panicking, and speculation began popping up from all directions. Where did Jungkook go? What decision did he announce? And why did everything happen so suddenly? It all started with a sudden live broadcast by Jungkook through the fan community platform. Without much ado, he appeared with a face that looked serious but calm. No intro song, no big smile as usual. Only Jungkook, sitting alone in a modest room, wore a black hoodie and a hat that partially covered his face. The broadcast atmosphere is noticeably different. There are no typical jokes, no funny whims that usually make the ARMY laugh. In the first few seconds, the atmosphere was quiet. Just the sound of her breathing and the clock ticking in the background. I've been thinking about it for a long time, Jungkook said in a quiet but firm voice. That sentence alone was enough to make hundreds of thousands of spectators who were watching immediately feel that something was unusual. He continued, "And I know this decision will surprise a lot of people. But I want you to know that I did it not because I gave up, not because I was tired, but because I wanted to grow." Sentence after sentence slid from his lips, explaining that he would take time to disappear from the public spotlight. He mentioned the need for a break, not just from the entertainment world, but from all forms of exposure. "I want to know who I am when there are no cameras. I want to hear my own thoughts without the noise of the world," he said. Jungkook insists that this was not an impulsive decision. He has been in discussions with the members, his agency, and his family. The ARMY that was watching was instantly transfixed. Some began to cry, even before the broadcast ended. Jungkook ended the broadcast with a speech that was more hurtful than fans could have imagined. "For now, just think of me like a shooting star. You may not see it, but I do. And when the time comes, I'll shine again for you." After that, the screen went dark. There was no further explanation, no follow-up from the agency, no confirmation of when or where he would return. All that remains is emptiness and questions. The next day, Jungkook's official social media accounts were wiped clean. Profile photo deleted, all uploads locked. Comments are disabled. Not a single word from HYB labels, not from the other BTS members. It was as if the whole world was silently waiting for an explanation. The hashtags #Where is Jungkook, #Jungkook comeback, and #We miss you JK immediately became trending on various platforms such as Twitter, TikTok, and Weverse. Armies around the world are united in a common unrest, worry. However, more than a concern, there is also a sense of confusion. In recent weeks, Jungkook has been very active. He even released a solo song that received a great reception from fans and music critics. Her appearances at several events also showed her in great shape and happy. There were no signs that he was experiencing severe stress or deep stress. So when he suddenly decides to disappear, many wonder, is this a personal plan? Or is there something bigger going on behind the scenes? Rumors began to circulate. Some local media speculated that Jungkook's decision was related to the pressure he faced as a member of the world's largest group. There are also those who say that he wants to get away from the industry that increasingly demands perfection and make room for himself to live like an ordinary person. In fact, there is a wilder theory that Jungkook is preparing a secret project that will shock the world in time. However, everything is only conjecture. No official confirmation. Jungkook remained unreachable, and silence was the only answer he left. One of the most moving moments occurred when an ARMY officer from Japan shared a short video showing a man who looked like Jungkook sitting on the beach with a gray hoodie, staring at the ocean. It's unclear if it's really Jungkook, but the video was widely shared and brought many fans to tears. Comments like, "If it's him, I hope he calms down now," or "We'll stay here waiting, no matter how long," filled the reply columns. The sincerity of love from BTS fans once again looks real and touching. In the midst of this chaos, the other members of BTS also looked calmer than usual. Jimin had uploaded an Insta story in the form of a picture of the night sky with the caption, "For those who are looking for direction, believe me, you'll find your way home. RM, the leader, wrote only one word on his social media account: shut up. There was no further explanation, but many felt that the members were guarding Jungkook's decision and chose not to speak on his behalf. Some senior fans who have followed BTS since debut feel that this act is very typical of Jungkook, discreet yet full of meaning. From the beginning, Jungkook was known as a mysterious, introspective, and very protective of his own values. Despite growing up in a world that constantly highlights her, she still tries to keep the most personal side of herself. Perhaps this was the last form of protection he exercised for his soul, a silence chosen consciously, not as an escape, but as a healing. Nevertheless, the biggest question remains hanging in the air. Will Jungkook return? HYB's agency finally released a brief statement after pressure from the public and media increased sharply. In a statement, they said Jungkook was taking a personal break and asked the public to respect his decision. No further explanation, no details about his whereabouts. Only a request for understanding and patience. The statement even further fueled curiosity. Many feel that something is not fully disclosed. Weeks passed, and the world began to get used to Jungkook's silence. But for the ARMY, the days felt incomplete. They remain active in making love projects, such as filling billboards in Times Square with messages of support, releasing fan-made songs dedicated to Jungkook, and creating a global campaign to voice their love. No one knows when he will return, but their love never wavered. Several celebrity psychology experts also commented. They said Jungkook's decision was probably the most mature and healthy step a public figure could take in his condition. Realizing when to stop, when to hear one's own inner voice, and when to close the doors of the outside world is a form of power that not everyone has. It doesn't run away, says one expert. He's coming home to himself. Until now, the shadow of Jungkook still lingered in the hearts of the ARMY. His characteristic voice, the look in his eyes, and the little messages he used to leave behind were like treasures that he kept looking for and hugging. Moments of togetherness with BTS members are also becoming more meaningful. Old photos, behind-the-scenes videos, and old live broadcasts are playing again, as if they are longing treatments. And while Jungkook may be walking his own path right now, ARMY knows one thing for sure: love knows no distance. No matter where Jungkook was, no matter how far he went, he was never truly alone. Because in every corner of the world, there are millions of hearts that continue to wait for his return, patiently, faithfully. Until then, the world will continue to wonder, and love will continue to wait. Jungkook, if you're reading this from your quiet place. No, the ARMY never leaves. We're here. We love you. We believe in you. Come back when you're ready. The world will still shine, knowing that one day you will shine brighter than ever.